Over the past few months, I've seen a lot of chatter about the post-COVID work arrangement. A lot of corporate drones want to still work from home, and the corporate overlords want them back in the office. And it's starting to create a little bit of friction. And I find this interesting due to the fact I work for myself and actually pay money to come to this office, so I don't have to work from home. I hate working from home. And so I thought today we'd have a deeper look at the corporate environment and see if the office will become a relic of the past. The modern office traces back to the Industrial Revolution. People would head into the city to work in factories and workshops, requiring offices to be built to manage these companies. These offices were organised into rows of desks for clerks, overseen by a central manager. In the 20th century, the rise of the corporation led to the development of the modern office building. The mid-20th century saw the advent of the cubicle, which offered a semblance of privacy within the open office. But offices have changed a lot in the last few years, from cubicles and boxes where people would be in miniature prisons, to Apple and Google making open spaces. It looks like a fairy tale for autistic corporates. Though these offices were marked as fun environments, reports began to suggest that these refurbished spaces weren't as enjoyable as they seemed. The issue was that, despite the resemblance to a Teletubbies lounge room, the architecture didn't fit the culture. Long working hours were the norm and taking breaks was discouraged. So while there were efforts in improving the office environment, it still wasn't quite cutting it. But then COVID happened and everything changed. In March 2022, the world was hit by a global pandemic and everyone found themselves stuck inside. While the corporate world initially panicked over the New World Order, firing anyone they could and begging governments around the world for more corporate socialism, they started to realise that things weren't as bad as they thought. Productivity didn't go down, but actually increased. For a lot of people in the corporate world, it was a refreshing change. They'd get up, go straight to their Zoom, straight to the kitchen, for the coffee, and then into the lounge room, all in the time it would take for them to find a seat on a train. But as the pandemic started to wind down, the corporate overlords thought getting employees back into the office would be as easy as buying their fifth investment property. However, they were wrong. The pandemic had forced companies and business owners to evolve, to allow their staff to work remotely. And many of these people couldn't see why this couldn't continue. In a cruel twist of fate, the corporate bigwigs were finding their staff preferred to work from their overpriced rentals, owned by their managers and directors. Problem was, both sides wanted different things. The employees liked the convenience of working from home. No commute to work, no chats with Janice from HR, and no pants. And the employer liked the convenience of the office, being able to manage staff face to face, more accountability, and they can build the office culture. So the rules were set and the battlegrounds were drawn. And from the ashes of the pandemic, the hybrid work model was born. Employees were wanting to be able to work from home and from the office in 1 week. 3 days in, 2 days out.
Trying to build culture, trying to get people back in to mix it up in the office.
My housemate, for example, works from home on Friday to start his big weekend, and then works from home on the Monday to recover from said weekend, giving him Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the office for that hybrid work environment. And I can see the hybrid model as a good sort of in-between. Go to the office and socialise and work from home to, chill out a bit or get some other stuff done. But as I said before, I hate working from home. I have an office that I pay for and I come here every day. Because if I were to work from home, I would get nothing done. I would just sit there and do fuck all. And I like coming into the office, I enjoy it. It's a nice office. I'll give you a little tour. Here you go. What do you got? This will be on the vlog.
What?
You excited? You're number 1 fan, aren't you?
Number one subscriber.
Number 1.
Dan, have you ever watched any of his videos?
I have. I actually have.
See? Got this cool rooftop where you can come up the party, or if things aren't going well, kill yourself. It's completely up to you. We've got a wall here for all the doggos of the office, but they forgot one dog, Justin, because he got that dog on him. But while I do like coming to the office every day, I have the freedom to come and go as I please. And I think that's what's really kind of changed the aspect of the office environment since COVID, is that People want to be able to have a bit more freedom or a bit more of their life back. And we can see even more recently the conversation around a 4-day work week, which is showing to improve productivity as well. We're getting to a point now where people don't see their job as their lives. They want to have a life outside of their job. They want to be able to hang out with friends, get ahead on their chores, or just hang out with their kids. People don't want to be sitting at a desk in an office for 60 hours a week to go home to a house that they can't afford, just to have 2 days off on the weekend to do chores and get ahead. So in summary, I don't think the office is going anywhere, but I think it's having a bit of a facelift. And similar to the Kardashians' faces, it's going to keep changing.